You know, I was always concerned about breast cancer because my mom was diagnosed at age 49. I was 18 at the time, and she passed away at 55. Once I started hitting my 50s, I was a little concerned. I've always been concerned about it. I went in for my mammography, and I was called back for a second one. Went back, had the biopsy, was getting ready to leave for a trip to Colorado to see my oldest daughter. What do I do? Do I wait? Do I go? Do I not go? And as the doctor said, nothing's going to happen right away, so just go. In Green River, Utah, where we broke down 5 years ago, I get the call, and that it about 7 o'clock at night from my gynecologist that it was cancer. So we're all in the motorhome, my son, my daughter, who they are 18 and 20 at the time, and my husband. And so I thought this is the best time to tell him. We sat down and I told him that I had breast cancer. My husband probably took it the hardest, and my kids, but my husband was very upset. And I told him, you know, I have cancer, I'm going to be okay, we're going to take care of this, and we're going to go ahead with our trip. So during the trip, we decided we had a 2-week trip ahead of us. We're going to go ahead with this. This was not going to be a cancer trip. This was going to be a family trip. But while we'd be driving, sometimes I would go back to the bedroom, close the door, and start making phone calls, getting proactive, making appointments for doctors, researching, finding where I wanted to go and where I wanted to get the best advice. I've always been very upset with what happened with my mom. September 1974. She was diagnosed, and I still remember that because I was at school, in high school, and called and found out that she had been in surgery a long time, so I knew something was wrong. But she waited too long. In those days, you didn't talk about breast cancer. It was taboo. It was embarrassing. You didn't speak of it. When my mom was in the hospital in Tulare, Betty Ford, President Ford's wife, was in the hospital with breast cancer. And that was the first time you heard publicly really about breast cancer. Because of not talking about and being aware, my mom waited too long. By the time she went in, and I just learned this after my diagnosis, that by the time she went into the doctor, she had discharge. She was in pain. It hurt very badly if someone touched her. She thought she had a breast infection. But the difference is that my sisters have all been very proactive, starting getting mammograms at age 30. But I saw my mom go through a lot. One thing she did tell me is that hopefully if this happened to you girls, that by the time it would happen, there would be a lot of technology. And us girls have sat here and talked about this. There's a lot of technology out there, but if there isn't awareness, then technology doesn't do any good. You know, talking about going through cancer, there's some really rough roads. Yeah, I had a rough start in my treatments, but still, right before all my treatments started, the first thing is that I was moving my youngest one away to Cal Poly. And I had told my doctors that no matter what, I did not want this to interfere. I was going to be there no matter what to see her off to Cal Poly. Moved my son to Fresno State in August. Her at the end of September. I can do whatever you want afterwards, but I'm not missing that. That's the priority. After going through cancer, it does change you. But as we said, it's actually... I made a statement that it's a journey to a new beginning. I look totally different. Blonde bob, I do not have anymore. Curly, gray, all different colors. So, but I'm an insurance agent, have my own office. But we also have another little business called Bite Me Mini Donuts. Interesting name, but it's a great little business that we started with our kids 4 years ago as a way of them learning how to have a business and run a business, and also that's their money for college. And my kids are so important to me, and my husband, my family. My daughter, the youngest one, Bailey, it's amazing how close we have become. Very headstrong, very independent, but this girl can post something on Facebook. And she said, you know how we always say we don't want to become like our mother? And she said, you know, all I know is my mother is my hero and I want to be just like her. I didn't think I was going to cry either.